Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. Start with a 1.5 kilograms piece of pork loin. Pat it dry with a paper towel to remove any extra moisture. Slice it, as shown in the video, to make a flat rectangle of meat. Take your time here, this will give us a nice surface to stuff and roll. Friends, please write in the comments, what country and city are you from? It's very nice to know that we can communicate all over the world. If you have any questions about the recipe, write to me and I will answer as soon as I see it in the comments. Now make shallow cuts across the surface at a slight angle. This will help the spices penetrate. Friends, I'd be happy if you could give this video a like, as it's the best reward from you. Cover the pork with a piece of plastic wrap. Gently pound the pork with a mallet. This step ensures an even thickness and helps tenderize the meat. Friends, if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel to receive notifications about new similar recipes. In a small bowl, combine 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of coarse dried garlic, 1 teaspoon of a green herb mix, such as dried parsley or cilantro. Stir these seasonings together. Sprinkle the mixture evenly over the pork. Rub it in gently with your hands so that the flavors reach every part of the meat. Fold the meat in half once. Sprinkle the exposed surface with a little salt. Fold again. Place the folded pork on a plate. Leave to marinate for 30 minutes to 1 hour. This rest allows the flavors to deepen. Take 5 large potatoes, cut them into slices. Place the sliced potatoes in a bowl. Grate 1 ounce or 30 grams of Parmesan cheese. Add it to the potatoes. Sprinkle with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of paprika. Drizzle with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Toss until the potatoes are well coated. In a baking dish, add a drizzle of olive oil. Transfer the potatoes to the baking dish. Bake in a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or about 180 degrees Celsius for about 40 minutes. In a frying pan, add a drizzle of olive oil. Add a quarter stick or 30 grams of butter for richness. Slice 2 onions into thin feathers. Add them to the pan. Cook over medium heat until they begin to soften and turn light brown. Sprinkle in 3 tablespoons of sugar over the onions. Stir gently. Next, add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Stir well and continue to cook until the onions are nicely caramelized and sticky. This may take several minutes, but the result is worth it. unfold the marinated pork. Spread the caramelized onions evenly over the pork. Grate 8 ounces or 240 grams of Emmental cheese. Sprinkle the grated cheese over the onions. In a frying pan, add a drizzle of olive oil. Add a quarter stick or 30 grams of butter. Slice 8-10 mushrooms. Add them to the pan. Sauté until they release their moisture and turn a nice golden brown. Add a small pinch of salt. Add a little of black pepper. Mix it well. Pour the sautéed mushrooms over the pork. Finely chop one bunch of parsley. sprinkle it over the top. These layers will create a wonderful filling that complements the pork perfectly. Gently roll the pork up, making sure the stuffing stays inside. Take a foil-lined baking pan. Place a piece of damp parchment paper on top. Place the rolled pork on the parchment paper. Place strips of bacon across the top of the pork roll, covering the surface. The bacon adds flavor, moisture, and a nice finish to the dish. Wrap the roll in the parchment paper. Then wrap in foil, sealing well. Place it in the oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 180 degrees Celsius, and bake for 1 hour. In a medium glass bowl, combine 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. Mix these ingredients thoroughly. Remove the pork from the oven. Carefully remove the foil and parchment paper. Brush the pork roll generously with the glaze, making sure to coat each piece. This glaze gives our pork roll a beautiful color and a sweet, tangy flavor. Return it to the oven uncovered for an additional 10-15 minutes. Now cut off a piece of the roll and take a moment to appreciate your creation. The pork is tender and fragrant. The potatoes are comforting and rich. To serve, place a portion of the roasted potatoes on a plate. Place a generous slice of the bacon-wrapped pork roll next to it. The layers of onions, cheese, mushrooms, and herbs inside the pork create a beautiful pattern and a wonderful aroma. I hope this dish brings warmth and happiness to your family's meal as it has to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today. But that's not all. I have a second equally delicious recipe for you. Let's start by pouring water into a saucepan. Cover it with a lid and let the water come to a boil. Once it's boiling, pour in 8 ounces or 250 grams of pasta. Add a pinch of salt. Give it a gentle stir and let it cook according to the package instructions. While our pasta is cooking, heat a large frying pan over medium heat and add a little oil. While the oil is heating up, finely chop 1 onion. add the chopped onion to the pan and saute it until it becomes soft and translucent. This will add a lovely sweetness to our sauce. Next, we're going to add some garlic. Grate 2 cloves of garlic on a mini grater. Add it to the onions. The aroma of garlic and onions cooking together is just wonderful, isn't it? Let's cook that for another minute, stirring gently so the garlic doesn't burn. Now it's time to add the star of our meat sauce, 16 ounces or 450 grams of ground beef. Break it up with a spatula as it cooks, making sure there are no large chunks. To give our sauce a rich depth of flavor, we'll add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Stir everything together, letting the tomato paste blend with the meat and onions. Next, season with a bit of salt. A pinch of black pepper, and a sprinkle of oregano. These simple seasonings add so much flavor to the meat. We'll let this simmer for about 10 minutes so the flavors can really come together. While our meat sauce is simmering, let's check on the pasta. It should be cooked to perfection by now. Drain the pasta and set it aside for a moment. We'll come back to it soon. Next, we're going to make a creamy bechamel sauce. In a clean saucepan, melt 2 ounces or 60 grams of butter over medium heat. Once the butter is melted, add 2 tablespoons of flour and stir constantly for about a minute. This creates a smooth base for our sauce. Now, slowly pour in 14 fluid ounces or 400 milliliters of milk, whisking continuously to avoid lumps. We want our bechamel sauce to be silky and smooth. Add half a teaspoon of black pepper for a bit of warmth and spice. And half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Let the sauce simmer gently until it thickens. This should only take a few minutes. Now, grate 10 ounces or 300 grams of cheddar cheese. we'll reserve about 3 ounces or 100 grams of the cheese for the top layer of our casserole. Next, pour bechamel sauce into a large bowl. Add the cooked pasta to the bowl with the bechamel. Now let's add the grated cheese and mix thoroughly until every piece of pasta is coated in that creamy, cheesy sauce. Take a baking dish and let's start layering our casserole. Begin with a layer of the cheesy pasta at the bottom of the dish, pressing it down gently with a spatula to create an even layer. Next, spread a layer of our flavorful meat sauce over the pasta. Repeat these layers. Pasta, then meat. Now for the finishing touch, sprinkle the remaining 3 ounces or 100 grams of cheddar cheese over the top of the casserole. Place the dish in a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius and bake for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, your kitchen will be filled with the most amazing aroma. The pasta is perfectly tender, the meat sauce is rich and savory, and the cheesy top is just divine. I hope you enjoy making and eating this pasta casserole as much as I do. It's a wonderful dish to share with family and friends, and I'm sure it will become a favorite in your home too. Thank you so much for cooking with me today. Until next time, happy cooking.